UK roster, but first they have to get through HAVU, who are opting to start on the T side of D2 as Slowey picks up a smoke and a Molotov. Extra utility for Saw as well, looking very execute heavy, as on this occasion Eccles opts to pick up a couple of flashes and a defuse kit over on the CT side of things. Early utility lineups for HAVU to try and make that mid control a little bit easier, but you can see the short take coming through from Stanley. Has support from Alex as well. This is a counter play coming in from Fierce very early on, looking to play around the edge of that smoke. Not spotting too much of anything, opting to fall back, but now the contact will come in. Stanley and Alex double peek on the corner. One goes down very early on, and Alex, forced back from his post, drops down in towards the A ramp to try and support, but there's so many angles to check here. He's being shot from all sides. He finds one, but the trade is there. And 4v3, this is going to be very rough again for the CT side. Utility used to allow that bomb to cross. Smokes and flashes coming out as that smoke drops deep down into CT. That is a very delayed smoke, but the timing is good enough. All three players going towards long for Fierce Esports. Can Saw hold them off? Gets one, surely. Just about, but Astro trades it out. So 3 versus 2, this is still viable. 2 USPSs picked up onto Twixie and Hoodie. How important could that be as the final nade goes out? There's only one flashbang left on Astro, and they know both players are coming from long. Frey walks right into the crosshairs. One tap from Hoodie. Astro is left 1v3. Too many angles to clear for him, surely. So many players facing him down. Twixie will tap away. HAVU secure the T-sided pistol. And could that be a taste of what's to come for the UK roster, who very nearly started to pull off the impossible over on Overpass. Over on Overpass. What a phrase to say. The early round goes the way of HAVU. Couple of SMGs picked up. It will be the force buy coming out for Fierce as they opt for 4 pistols in support of that one scout of Astro. Early long take coming out. He's going to walk right into the scout, but not finding much of anything. As you can see, Fierce are desperate to get aggressive. Stanley pushing into lower tunnels will be found early on. Slowey takes a couple of tags for his troubles, but the early aggression not really working out for Fierce as the SMG of HAVU will reign over. You can see how aggressive, how proactive Fierce are trying to play. Slowey's going to get caught out by Frey in that exact position. And with this double short setup, there is an opportunity here for Fierce to perhaps find some damage. So many angles to clear, and HAVU are going to be taking down another player as Zori falls to the deagle of Alex. And this is where that scout can really start to do work. The AK tapping away. We'll find one for Twixie, but he's on 29. He's taken a scout tag, and now in this 3 versus 3 situation, Alex recovers the scout, takes a little bit of damage, and will finally be dispatched by Hoodie. 3 on 2. Saw's been spotted out. The UMP's been picked up. He's all alone with that Mac 10 on 7 HP. Surely he can't find any more. Eccles will take him down. And this bomb is yet to be planted. Frey's still making a nuisance of himself on the CT ramp as finally it'll go down. The only advantage for HAVU is it is the AKs, but Eccles finds the early frag. It's all onto Hoodie. 1 versus 2. He makes his way out towards long. The bomb is planted for him, so he has the advantage of the range, the AK, everything he could ever want, as it's actually going to be the AK recovered. Frey goes towards the bomb, taps it once, he's baiting the peek out. Hoodie will swing wide, spots him out, spots he's not on the bomb, falls back into cover, goes for the secondary contact, not finding the frags. Eccles looks to push with the AK-47, trying to be proactive, not finding it. Frey's off the bomb again, he doesn't have the defuse kit. The round is over. HAVU, by the skin of their teeth, convert against the force buy, and Frey, he's not even in a position to pick up a rifle. That is so unfortunate. You could see what Eccles was trying to do, pushing up aggressively with the AK-47, trying to take the fight to HAVU, whose economy has really been pinned back by that round. Fierce very, very nearly able to pull off what would have been a miraculous round, but not quite enough on this occasion. The score will read 2-0. The buy will still be decent on the HAVU side of things, and I don't think they'll be complaining about anything here. Early aggression towards long, spots out a couple of pistols. There is a fairly heavy investment from Fierce, of course. With so many frags found, they do have a bit of cash in the bank. So Deagle, P250, CZ75 onto Eccles. And this time HAVU will slow things down. They ran into that force buy and it very nearly went wrong for them. Save for a Hoodie 2 versus 1 on that AK-47. This time they're being a little bit more methodical in their approach as Fierce heavy stack the lead on site. Mac 10 of Zori will be sent in early on to get the information. You can see Stanley actually just sitting back of an angle. He's trying to wait for HAVU to walk into him. Fake smoke for the mid-B split. And not really in a position to push that B-bomb site, so instead they'll head towards short, where currently Alex is alone on that A-bomb site, in towards the pit with a P250. You can understand the reasoning behind this stack from Fierce. They're just hoping that there's a slight chance that Fierce will get a couple of frags out of it as HAVU walk into the stack on the B-bomb site, but instead the execute comes towards A, and it will just be about the exit frags for the CT side here. Save the armor on Frey and Eccles if you can. Let the bomb go down, find some exit frags. Alex looks to line up the flash through the edge of that smoke, and he might get a timing here if Zori's looking the wrong way. Zori is indeed, and down to low HP, will be rescued by his teammates as Slowy and Twixy find a frag apiece. Twixy's actually traded out, but it's only the UMP to fall, and with tags onto the remaining players, that HAVU will just look to keep the remaining AK-47s alive, I imagine, and indeed they will. Slowy covering the long doors, allowing his teammates to escape relatively unharmed, and just keeping the armor up on Frey and Eccles will mean a significantly reduced investment coming out from HAVU, from Fierce in this next round as the push starts to come through. Saw's clearing things out with the MAC-10, finding a lot of players, but he's going to be taken down, and now this AK from Slowy is going to be found by Frey, so a couple of late exit frags mean there's a second rifle up for grabs, and Frey will retrieve it, so Fierce, they're not going to let HAVU get out of this scot-free. They take the 3-0 lead, but there is an AK dropped across as it's saved into the hands of Alex. The one trusted with that one tap to the head. Trusted to be the instigator. Astro grabs the AWP. Frey goes for the secondary. No money in the bank for HAVU to grab it onto Zori on this occasion, who will accept the Krieg and go for the early long take. The AWP misses the initial pick, forced to fall back. Astro uses a little bit of utility to try and buy himself some time as HAVU look to set up pick control and actually just bail on that at the last second, instead opting for some slower control towards that A-bomb site. You can see the counter coming out immediately from Fierce as Astro and Alex look to get proactive towards short. Twixy will be the early contact in that position, as apparently the auto director thinks B's the place to look. Twixy just holding down mid for the time being. Plenty of presence towards long for this T side. No real presence there for Fierce as it stands, as HAVU, they're just wandering up that left-hand side. They're looking to get a free plant here. Astro, he's read the situation well. He's just starting to back around, but as the smokes come down, he's going to be covered off as the site take comes through. And it is going to be the early takes. Twixy gets one. He's traded out by Eccles, and Astro's going to be held off by utility here as the Molotov forces him back. 4 on 4. The bomb goes down. There's utility to work with here for Fierce, but they're looking at a double AWP retake, as the last of HAVU's utility is being thrown here. There's still a molly and a flashbang available on Hoodie. As you can see, Saw, he wants to be proactive around the edge of this smoke. Might just get spotted out there. He sees Astro, who takes him straight through it. Reads the tracers, makes it 4 on 3. The deep Molotov isn't going to do enough, and burning alive, Slowy has to swing. This is a 4 on 2 all of a sudden, and with that deep long player, it's all on Hoodie to try and lock this down. He gets the first. He's buying so much time for this flank from Zori as he gets 2, and it's all on to Alex. He doesn't have the time on 17 HP. This round is done. HAVU again with the last man alive in Zori secure the round, and he might just get the last frag as well. Surviving with that Krieg. Dust 2 is going down to the wire on every single occasion, and that is a small reward for Fierce, who are currently 4-0 down. At the very least, they are keeping HAVU's economy in check. HAVU will not be running away with the cash on their T side on this occasion. The buy will come in for Fierce. They pick up the pistols. They'll force down a little bit. They want to save some cash for utility, so not going right down to that 2k burn mark. Instead, sitting a little bit higher. Alex on 4.5 with a deagle and a little bit of utility to boot. Astro sticks with the USPS, enabling him to buy the AWP into round number 6. HAVU set themselves up for a B take. Fierce, they went for the early presence towards long. They worked out there was nobody there. Now they're starting to rotate these pistols around towards the B bomb site, which HAVU are very heavily posturing towards. This could get rough for the T side. They're going to have to be absolutely inch perfect on this execute. The bomb is making its way through the tunnels now, and the pistols are all towards B. As the push comes through, the flashbang will do nothing. Hoodie gets one, traded out. The deagle can't quite get the spam through though, and there's still presence here. Zori looking to mop up house with the P250. Will find a couple of frags. Stanley on the recovered rifle can do nothing. Somehow HAVU come through that stack relatively unscathed. The pistols not quite doing enough for Fierce Esports. And that is the problem. They needed a little bit more from their pistols there. They needed a few more frags to come through to keep that economy honest for HAVU. You can see they're starting to build up a little bit of bank now. They got 2.5 to 3k on most players. The double AWPs again out for Fierce. As this time Alex tries to take the presence in towards that A-long position. Smoke to keep Frey at bay, but through it he'll find HAVU. A lovely timing onto Hoodie. And with the man advantage, HAVU look to speed things up here to try and counter it, but Alex is posted up in pit for Fierce, and he's falling back. He's waiting for the crosshair to walk in. The spray's good from Twixy for one. Astro isolated on this AWP, drops the smoke, but the Molotov goes behind it. He's going to start to burn alive. They're spamming him through. 18 HP. Astro's alive, and the AWP is still lethal on 18 HP. Oh, edge of the smoke. Zori will get one. Stanley's there. Zori gets the second. How are they doing this, HAVU? Just picking up the pace and keeping Fierce honest. Frey and Eccles, the last two alive, and there's nothing more for them in this round. The bomb will go down in a 4 versus 2 retake. Frey and Eccles, they have to save. There's no cash for Fierce Esports. They're falling back towards B, but Saw is already thinking about hunting. Gap in the smoke. He won't find anyone. How do they do this, HAVU? Time and time again. Absolutely ridiculous stuff from them. Finding frags in the most unlikely of scenarios. Zori goes towards short to bail his teammates out. Astro just about staying alive from the Molotov, but Zori dispatched of him. And now Slowy's going for a bit of a hunt. He wants to find Frey. He wants to find the AWP. He should have heard that making its way out. Almost a little bit unlucky not to find the timing there. But he will fall back in towards the site. 2 players left alive for the time being for Fierce Esports. And now the hunt can start to really come into play. Saw and Slowy, they want to find them, but not going to be able to. So a couple of rifles saved up. Should allow this buy to come through for Fierce. Currently 6-0 in favour of HAVU. Fierce really need to start finding some rounds. And indeed, the force will come through. Double AWP setup being called again. Astro and Frey. 1 saved, 1 bought. Compromise on the SMG from Stanley and very limited utility. Absolutely no nades for Alex. And HAVU are going to try and take advantage with a fast take of long. The rifles are out, but Alex can't find the damage and he's going to be found. Slowly spamming through. Will find the opening pick, and you can see how desperate Stanley was to try and recover that rifle. Can't quite do so. Has to fall back off the angle with the UMP. HAVU just looking to take advantage of the numbers take of long there. You can see the counter-aggression coming through. Frey, he's scoped up. He's walking his way through the B halls. Starting to get that aggression in towards upper tons. Finding the proactiveness. Allowing the rotation to come through. Missed smoke from Zori will mean this cross isn't covered. They're going to have to respond to that by throwing some separate smokes of their own. And 2 people smoke the same angle. There's a gap in that. There's opportunity here for Fierce. 4 on 5. The splash comes through, but it doesn't work out. Twixy dispatches of him close on the angle. Eccles can find 1 before he's traded. But now a 4 on 2 for Astro and Frey. Astro behind Gandalf really needs to go huge here. Has to find multiple frags. Grabs himself a first. Untraded. Hoodie's going to get the bomb down. And Slowy somehow finds the pick. A shoulder was visible for Astro and he's taken down. It's all on Frey. 1 versus 3. The AWP making its way in from short. He's trying to get something going with this utility, but the damage is done. But no frags to be found just yet. The Molotov is just trying to find anything on the exit, but it looks like Frey has resigned himself to the save. Falling back down into CT to perhaps find an exit frag. His legs have been spotted out. He will find 1 onto Hoodie, but there's no more time. This round is over. Slowy just drops down, gives away a frag realistically, trying to find the exit. They're trying to keep Frey out of this. They're trying to make sure there's no rifles left at all over on the Fierce Esports side of things. It will be 7-0. This T side from HAVU is firing on all possible cylinders. And if you're Fierce, what do? They need a timeout. They need to try and discuss some kind of a tactic. The economy once again is on the ropes. This is looking good for HAVU. The Finnish roster are showing up again in a big way as Fierce really struggling to get anything going. They will be force buying into this one. They get the double AWP set up, spamming through. Eccles takes a little bit of damage. Alex again compromising down to the SMG as this time HAVU head towards B early on where it's an isolated Frey on the AWP. They're just queuing up outside that B bomb site at the moment, and they know Fierce have had to commit extra men towards the A site take. The flashes come through, the utility is thrown. It's all onto Frey here. He's got to go absolutely huge. The HE will do work, but the Molotov's going to force him into an off angle. He's pushed out. He'll find an early entry. Eccles is there to support Frey. Anchoring the site gets 2. Zori finally trades, but the bomb is out in the open, and Eccles looks to secure the site as Zori's taken down. It is all onto Hoodie, who is nowhere to be found. Trying to push up middle, trying to cut out the rotations, but finally, Fierce will get a CT round unless there's an absolute miracle here from Hoodie. Creeping his way down into mid, still trying to do some damage on the exit, and this is the right way to play this round. He needs to find more. He needs to find some damage to try and make this more viable. Alex, tight on the angle, will be an easy enough find to open things up. The second player is there, and Hoodie hits the second headshot. Falls back. Tries to give himself a new angle to work with, but you can see Astro and Eccles have both picked up the AWPs. They are going to look to lock him out. He has a Molotov and a flashbang. 47 seconds. Words. Words, Jack, words. 40 seconds left on the clock. Now 35 as I just hashed it horrifically. Eccles towards back plat. Will hit the shot. Fierce get their first round on the board, but it's expensive at that. And with the built-up cash, it will be the next buy coming in for HAVU. Hoodie making that round far more expensive than it should have been for Fierce Esports, finding a nice double kill, but finally taken down by Eccles. The double AWPs are kept up. Alex has to concede the MP9 once more, and it's a very strong full buy over on the HAVU side of things, and Snowy will get the opening pick. Spamming through the smoke, taking down Eccles before he even makes his way to B, and the instant response is a fast mid-take coming out from Hoodie. Needs to be careful of this AWP though, and he won't be. Astro takes him down, strafing and killing. As it's all down to Alex, tight on the angle. The 1-for-1 trade makes this very difficult. Stanley out in the open is an easy find, and Astro, he's hiding behind the car. They know exactly where he is here. The trade is guaranteed. The frag is inevitable. Frey left 3 versus 1. HAVU up the pace as soon as Fierce start to look even remotely comfortable. The pace is just increased, and they know where Frey is. He will be able to find one on the cross. Saw managed to just about get that bomb in towards the A bomb site as deep from CT. Frey looks to make this happen. Nice nade. Brings Saw down to 23. The Molotov's going to force him into the open. Frey is isolating these fights, but what a headshot from Saw. HAVU are showing up, and they are showing up in style. Fierce get one. HAVU say, fine, you can have that, but we will find another almost instantaneously. 8-1 the scoreline. And if you're Fierce, what do? You find a round and you think, finally we have found a break in this. As again, the Krieg for the early spam. This time, not going to find the kill, just a little bit of damage onto Eccles. But it's pistols and a lonely scout for Fierce to try and break a resolute T-side from HAVU. You can see them getting aggressive towards short through Astro and Stanley, but Zori's ready to find the early opening, and the short players are here. Lower Tons is Saw's playing ground as he finds a second frag onto Frey. 5 versus 3 now. HAVU starting with the BMs already. Saw spamming into the body. Eccles is going to be forced out by the Molotov. They're spotting out so much presence here early on. Stanley, the last man alive towards the A bomb site. And HAVU know it. They've spotted out both players towards B as Eccles will be taken down by Hoodie. Alex, last man alive, really hasn't done anything with the scout so far. 1 versus 5. He's been spotted out. This bomb's going to head straight towards the A bomb site. HAVU should be able to keep 5 players alive here, and that would be absolutely brilliant from their perspective, and indeed they will. Of course, Slowy, that Krieg scoped in, absolutely lethal. 9-1 the scoreline. HAVU are making mincemeat of Fierce Esports here. And what's the response from the UK side? What do they do to get themselves back into this game? The double AWPs are out, 3 rifles. But the double AWPs haven't been working. Frey's been finding frags, but Astro hasn't. It's such a heavy investment, that AWP, and when it's not finding frags, it really doesn't pay off. Early bomb presence towards the B bomb site as HAVU look to take control of top mid. They've left Eccles alone towards this B bomb site once again. Frey's on a semi-fast rotate, but he's currently locked in towards CT as HAVU are taking fast control of short. There's a lot of CT presence towards that A bomb site, and for the time being, HAVU look like they might be trying to pressure it. Astro playing back of an angle, not quite Kenny, but a little bit closer as Hoodie's taken down to 12 HP. Almost said body for a second there. The AWP of Frey, though, can't find the frag on this occasion. Zori takes him down, and that leaves Eccles completely isolated towards B. And in response, the rotation has to come through. You can see Astro and Stanley trying to recover this situation. They're trying to take control of middle. And that leaves them very isolated on that A bomb site. They've got Alex in towards the pit. Astro currently playing out towards the car position. Will be held off by the flashes, by the utility. Tight on the angle. He should have been spotted out there as HAVU look to get this bomb down for a short plant. The fast flank is in from Stanley, and HAVU have no idea. Astro taken down to low HP, but Stanley finds one before the trade. Slowy somehow gets it to just the 1 frag down. 3 on 4. This bomb should get planted in the smoke. Astro on 46 HP playing towards the plat. He's going to have no say in it. And how do they start this retake? They are nowhere near the site. Astro might be able to find one from distance, and indeed he will, taking down Zori on that AWP. And now they're very isolated here, HAVU. They're 2 players stuck on the site. Astro will take down a second onto Hoodie, and this flank from Twixy becomes all-encompassing. He has to get multiple kills here. He has to buy time for his teammate on site. Slowy trying to dance around the boxes, trying to wait for his teammate, but Eccles takes him down. It's all onto the flank of Twixy. He finds the first, but tapping away, he will be traded. Fierce will get a second round, and they will start their comeback on the CT side of D2. 9-2. The defuse will be stuck, and they're managing to save double AWPs as well, keeping the most expensive rifles up. That's intelligent play indeed from Fierce Esports, but they're 9-2 down. The economy is built up. There will be another buy coming through for HAVU. The Finnish side have so many more chances to stomp this half. What can Fierce do? They need a response. They need somebody to show up. Can it be one of these AWPs? Frey and Astro, what can you do? Early presence towards the tunnels again as HAVU fall back into that default that has been so successful for them. Why wouldn't you just fall back into what's been working out so perfectly? Frey again left isolated towards that B-bomb site. He's been an absolute anchor there for Fierce Esports. When he's been there with the AWP, he's consistently found multiple kills. A little bit isolated, but they clearly trust him. Plenty of presence towards A for the CT side as 1 minute and 20 goes. HAVU not with a lot of map. They look like they want to try and take control of middle. There's plenty of presence there. Alex again just playing in towards the pit. Not looking to pressure. There's once more. HAVU will fall to shore. Astro this time on Kenny S. Forced back by the flashbang. Drops into CT. They now know where one of those AWPs is, and it looks like they're lining up the straight execute here. They are not messing around. 4 players towards short. The 5th coming in through Twixie. It looks like they are just going to straight hit this. Astro, you have to go big here. The Molotovs will make it very awkward for him. He's trying to find a new angle, trying to fall back. The flashes keep him honest on 78 HP. And now he needs to find multiple frags. He gets one on the entry. The counter team dink, but still able to find the frag is Saw. 4 on 4. The bomb planter will take a lot of nade damage. There's tags to work with here for Fierce Esports. What can you do? Alex playing around the edges of this smoke is Slowy. If he finds this opening pick, it could be absolutely huge. The flashbang's good, but Slowy still finds the frag. Stanley trying to make his way through to the elevator will be an easy pick for Saw. And they are just dismantling this retake. Twixie with the double. All too easy as HAVU get double digits. And again, Fierce are only finding the isolated rounds. They are only finding those single rounds. They are not finding any kind of consistency on their CT side. And that is wrecking their economy. Once more, they'll be down on the pistols as HAVU looks set to make it 11. Deagles and CZs are all that Fierce can afford. And it's a full stack of the A-bomb site early on. Alex is trying to shoulder peek into the AWP of Zori. Will take the tag down to 25. Tries to hit the shot, but Zori has got his name, number, and full postal address to find the early entry. A short aggression coming in response, and you can see what Astro, Frey, and Stanley are trying to do. They're just trying to be proactive, but they are locked out of this. They're just trying to push through. The Krieg gets 1, gets 2. Slowy looking for more. He's being tapped away at, but will still find the triple onto an aggressive Eccles before Frey trades him out. And with just the 1 frag found by these Deagles so far, this is a very successful round for HAVU. Tapping away. Hoodie finishes the job. 11-2. Just 1 rifle loss. Their economy is set for the remainder of this half. And with 2 rounds left, Fierce need both of them. They have to win both rounds. HAVU are heading to the CT side of D2. The double AWPs come out for Fierce. They need these rounds. They need some consistent success if they are to put any kind of a resistance up here on Dust 2. Heavy presence towards middle this time for the CT side. Eccles trying something a little bit different. Twixie walks right into the crosshair. That's a nice trade. 1 for 1. Slowy brought down low HP as Astro this time rotates the AWP towards B and finds a second pick. This is much better from Fierce Esports. Much, much better. They're finding proactive picks. They're matching the pace, but Hoodie looks to crank it up a notch. Stanley finds the 1 for 1 trade from Carr, and the AWP really is in a position to clear this. Goes for the straight no-scope, finds it Zori, finds the second, 1-on-1. Finally, Frey trades him out. I thought for a minute HAVU would pull off a miracle through Zori, but just about again. Fierce by the skin on their teeth are finding rounds here. But it really is by the skin on their teeth. They are not finding them well. They are not looking efficient at all. And what do you do if you're Fierce Esports? They aren't finding consistent rounds. They can't rely on anything as the early spam through. They're going for the mid pick, and Frey actually finds it. Zori, a little bit too slow on the reactions, will give up an opening pick, so something to work with perhaps. Something to work with, but can they find any more? 4 on 5. HAVU slow things right down. They've lost the opening pick, but they don't seem too fast. Astro's very aggressive with this M4A4. He needs to be. He knows there's a Deagle behind this for his teammates. Brought down to 25 HP. The Molotov will go in to try and finish him off, and indeed Twixy will. Stanley opts not to go for the repeak, not to find the refrag. 4-on-4, doesn't want to give away his position. As now HAVU look to execute. They have equal firepower. They're going to drop down into CT. Saw looking to cut off the rotations. It's Alex just with that Deagle towards the A ramp as this execute comes in. Frey, very aggressive into lower tunnels, finds one. That opens up the fast flank as Twixy finds the refrag. The Deagle is down, but the rifles are on the fast flank, and Stanley will find one. The bomb, luckily not on the back of Slowy for HAVU, as the bomb plant should come through. But the Molotov is going to make things very awkward again. Stanley's trying to isolate Twixy. He'll do just that. It's all on Saw. 1v3 in CT. He can't get it done. Stanley with the double kill. Fierce will secure all the necessary rounds. 11-4 at the half. Can HAVU find 5 more? Can they make this a 2-0 wipeout in the favour of the Finnish side and start their lower bracket run? I believe whichever team loses this is out of MDL relegation. If someone wants to clarify that for me, it would be much appreciated. 11-4 the scoreline. Fierce need this pistol round. They pick up the P250. They're looking to try and get some kind of hero play out of it. But can they find anything? Molly and a couple of flashes for Astro. Flashbang for Eccles. They're going for the early pressure in towards mid. Zori and Slowy trying to be proactive towards short. They're going to walk right into several crosshairs here. They can't find the opening pick. Alex goes up on top. The flashbang is good. Slowy gets an opening. Slowy and Saw combined for 4, and that is all too simple. Stanley, the last man alive, desperately trying to get something done from A-Long. But again, HAVU just doing the simple things right. 1 flashbang yields 4 kills, and Slowy cleans up the rest of it. Fierce, you were finally starting to come into your own, and HAVU just, again, respond instantaneously. There is no opportunity for any kind of a response. The round is gone before it's even begun for Fierce Esports, and they have to force at 12-4. The scout of Slowy, what a pick! What can you do when Slowy is doing that to you? Strafing away, finds the opening. Saw gets aggressive, will be found by Alex in response. The flick with the Deagle is good for at least 1. 12-4. 4-on-4 situation. The 4 spies come in. It's only SMGs for HAVU. They haven't got any M4s. There's a scout for Slowy, and he's found a beautiful opening pick. But can Astro lock this one down? Twixy just backing off of things. As Fierce reassess the situation, they've got a little bit of presence towards short. Alex has snuck his way out here, and I don't think Zori has any idea on that MP9 where he is. This could be a brutal pick, and indeed it will. Alex with the 1D gets one more, looking for more damage still. The scout has to go huge, and it can't do it. 4 versus 2 now. Hoodie and Twixy left with a retake that looks almost impossible. Already, Astro is set for the flank on the scout as the smoke obscures Hoodie's visions. 4-on-2. Straight through it. Hoodie will find an opening. That makes this viable at the very least, but Twixy knows his flank is exposed and he finds damage but not the frag onto Astro, and that surely means this round is over. Hoodie knows he needs to find this frag for his teammate, and indeed he will, but 2-on-2, I don't think there's any chance for them here. The scout's going to be saved, the UMP will be saved, Fierce will get a 5th. They will stay alive a little bit longer here, but surely it is just a matter of time. 12-5, the scoreline will read. 2 players kept alive. The 4 spy works out for Fierce Esports. But they need a lot more success over on the T side of things. They will have the cash to buy into the next round, and HAVU are in a far worse position. They'll have that saved scout, they'll have the saved UMP, but they will not have a lot to back it up. HAVU needing just 4 more rounds to start their run in the losers bracket. Looks like they are going to go for the 4 spy here. Picking up the CZs, the Deagles, the FAMAS onto Hoodie. As Astro again on this scout looks for the opening pick. Finds a little bit of damage onto Hoodie. Doesn't get picked off this time early on as the fast long control comes through. The Molotov is going to keep the presence a little bit short. 2 Kriegs and an AK-47 though. Such a firepower advantage for Fierce as they go for that long take. And you can see they're just going to look to take advantage of range. 2 Kriegs, a scout and an AK. They are just going to look to take this fight at distance. Not give HAVU anything up close and personal. Eccles left to try and cut any kind of aggressions out, and that's exactly what's coming through for Saw. He finds the dink on the CZ, somehow doesn't find the frag. The refrag will come through for Hoodie, and that's a Krieg recoverable in towards lower tunnels. If Zori wants it, he can go for it. Doesn't look like he'll do so. He's instead going for the flank as the fast long take comes in from Fierce Esports. They need to get onto this site, and they need to do it now. Twixie drops the smoke to buy a little bit of time. Astro's trying to cover 3 angles at once as the rifles make their way up. Stanley with a lovely entry pick, and this makes it very awkward. Slowly through the smoke is taking a lot of damage, and Stanley straight up finds him, and now it's a clean-up job. Zori, the last man alive, will be found by Astro. The force buy not working out for HAVU, and we might just have a game on our hands here. 12-6 the scoreline. The money is bust for HAVU. We may just have a game on our hands here, ladies and gentlemen. I finally may get some competitive Counter-Strike to cast. That would be lovely, eh, wouldn't it? 12-6 the scoreline. The full eco comes out for HAVU. Default pistols across the board. Nothing to really work with. They're going to look to pressure mid. They're going to look to pressure Astro on that scout. He finds a 1D to open things up. Will be traded out, but now the AKs can clean up house. Just the one frag to be found on this full eco. That is nicely dispatched off by Fierce Esports. Game on, ladies and gentlemen. 5 rounds the difference at the moment. HAVU needing just 4. Every round has to be perfect for Fierce. There can be no mistakes. They have a little bit of economy built up, but they cannot afford to lose any more rounds. As the buy comes out for HAVU, there's no AWP. It's the rifles only. Again, looking to pressure that mid position early on. Stanley wants to go fast towards short, but there's plenty of presence here. The early nades will take a couple of tags off him as they just head straight into lower tons. Stanley in no position to counter it. Source spots him out. Source still unable to find the frag. Tapping away. Stanley will find the opening. Falls back. Gives himself a new angle to work with. And that's such a fast flank. Hoodie's completely isolated towards the A ramp. That's an easy frag. Somehow Fierce are matching the pace as Twixie will find one. This retake a little bit more viable now, as it is a 4 versus 3. So much utility still available. Twixie's trying to get anything he can going. Wants to drop down into CT, but he's been spotted doing so. And Frey will get an easy frag. 4 on 2. The save's been called. Fierce Esports, we have a game. 4 rifles saved as well over on the T side of things. Zori and Slowy, the only 2 to keep rifles up for HAVU. And once again, they have an absolute storm of a first half. But they're struggling to wake up here on the CT side of things. Last time it was the T side of Overpass where they struggled but succeeded. This time, it's the CT side of D2. 12-8, Fierce within 4. Now they can start to believe. If they take this to Vertigo, there's a world where they win this best of 3 matchup. Fierce within 4. The economy is starting to break for HAVU. They have 2 saved rifles, but there is not enough cash to buy strongly into this round. Is there an opportunity here for Fierce to steal a map, to give themselves half a chance heading in to Vertigo? The half buys in. Saw will grab an MP9. It's pistols for Twixie and Hoodie. It's going to be down to Zori and Slowy to really be the instigators here. They have to find frags. The rifles have to show up huge. Nice nade stack. Finds a good amount of early damage onto Astro. Forces him off of that peak. Down to 52. It looks like they're heading towards B. There's an MP9 and a Deagle on B. There is no rifles. There is no rifles on this B bomb site. Fierce could not have picked a better choice, but Hoodie through the smoke will find an early entry. And as they push out onto the site, they have to clear so many angles. Saw can't find anything, but Hoodie, he's still alive. He's still got the Deagle. Hoodie and Twixie combine for 1 apiece. And how is Hoodie still finding damage? Stanley on 20 HP will surely fall any second, and indeed he will. It's all down to Astro, 14 HP, 1 versus 3. And he's stuck. The bomb is on the B bomb site, but he's in the upper tunnels. And does he save? There's a minute left on the clock. He surely has to try something. There's 3 players alive for HAVU, and they have 3 rifles to work with. How do they do this, HAVU? How do they bail themselves out in those impossible situations? Hoodie goes huge on the Deagle, and the finish side will be within 3. Astro has the impossible to pull off here. He has the AWP, and you couldn't ask for a better weapon to try and pull this one off, but surely it is impossible. Surely there is no chance. 3 on 1. He's all the way over on the A bomb site. I think he's resigned himself to the save with 25 seconds left. We'll look for just the one pick here or there. But with 3 players alive on HAVU, 3 rifles saved, Fierce will be able to buy in the next one around this AWP, but what do you do when a Deagle and a CZ are dismantling your B hit? The utility was there, the firepower that was there, everything favors Fierce Esports, and they can't find the round. 13-8, HAVU again lead by 5, and they are just 3 rounds away from taking this best of 3 matchup in just 2 maps. 3 more rounds for HAVU to find success. Fierce, of course, will be buying into this one. The cash will support that at the very least. Counter buy is available. Hoodie can even pick up the AWP. Instead, it will be the rifle. Sticking to what they know here, HAVU. They grab themselves a saved AK, a saved Krieg. 3 M4s to support. The AWP won't get the early pick again. Stanley and Fierce, they've been going for this double AWP on the T side consistently. Can they find the picks? It's a very heavy economic investment as HAVU lock out A long. Looks like Fierce want to focus their attention towards middle for the time being. Astro and Stanley both the AWPs in towards mid. Alex trying to get some information on the rifle, trying to find something. As the nades come through, that's a nice little nade. Doesn't get as much damage as it perhaps deserved. The mid-B split smokes come through, but there's not a lot of presence towards the tunnels. The bomb has been left very passive. And if Hoodie and Saw can hold down mid, this take is over before it's begun. Fierce just deciding to back out of that plan before they got too invested. Instead, going to head up towards short. It's going to be down to Twixie and Zori. Twixie very aggressive towards long. Zori completely isolated on the site. Needs to call the rotation in before this hit becomes too much of a reality. But the bomb is still sat outside of B. Fierce have double faked this, and now they're settling into a mid-B hit. How? This is ridiculous. They faked and faked again, and now they are settling into a mid-B. And where's Hoodie? Is he boosting someone? Astro sneaks his way out. He has one of those AWPs. That flash will keep them away a little while longer. There's so much presence for Fierce. Where is Hoodie? I have no idea where Hoodie is. Fierce explode out of middle. They have that mid presence now. Eccles just needs to prove a credible threat from the tunnels area as this push starts to come in. It was the boost. There's 3 players towards B, but Astro finds the opening pick. It's down to 2. Hoodie finds 1. Hoodie finds the double, trying to spray for more. Astro comes in on the pistol and finally recovers the situation, but there's no time and it's all on Slowy. He gets the double. HAVU are within 2 and Fierce, they just leave it too late. They try to fake and fake and fake again. They're trying to draw the rotations from HAVU, who just sit on the site. They say, it's fine, you can come to us. We'll take the shots, we'll hit our shots, and we'll find our frags. What a call. What a call indeed. As the early nade stacks come out, Eccles is down to 27 HP. He's forced up that AWP to try and prevent this one going to map point, but he's taken a lot of early damage. So much early damage, in fact. And HAVU, they have so much health to work with. Surely this is it. Here and now, HAVU are going to look to take this to map point. There is no money left. There is no safety net for Fierce Esports as they head towards short. All 5 players are here. Zori will have a field day towards car with this AWP. The utility has to lock him out. The flashes and the smokes will keep him honest a while longer. The Molotov does good work. Saw gets an opening from CT. Zori out in the open finds a second. 5 on 3 now. Zori wants more. Just decides wisely perhaps to fall back. They have a 2-man advantage. There's no need for their AWP to commit. Astro lucky to be alive as Zori gets his second, and that's the bomb down. 5 on 2. It's all down to Astro and Eccles, and they are split between Gandalf and Short. They are completely out in the open. So many angles to clear as Astro finds a first. The trade not quite there. Zori whiffs the shot, but on the second attempt he will get it. Eccles will be found. Map point HAVU. Series point HAVU. The Finnish side looking to start their lower bracket run off with a bang. Just one more round needed and the UK side need to pull off a miracle. In other news, Tricked have officially qualified for MDL. If anybody's interested in here, any Danes in the chat? Frey, what a shot to open things up onto Hoodie. That is just the start you need. When you're forced onto 4 pistols and a scout, that's exactly what you need from Frey. As again, Fierce go fast towards short. Alex finds a second onto Zori. This is good. Twixie able to find 1 in response and good damage onto the second, but he's isolated and he's on low HP. Somehow he gets a second frag before he's taken down. The nade and the gun will find 1 apiece for Saw, and it's all onto Eccles again. 1v1 versus Saw. The bomb is dropped on short. Can Eccles find a miracle? A Vanguard have also qualified for MDL. In other news, it's all on to Eccles. 17 HP. 1 versus 1. Can he find this? Saw has no idea where he is. Saw is clearing towards short, but the timing is good for Saw. He makes his way through. Eccles will not get a free kill here. Saw takes the peek. Doesn't hit the shot. He's got a smoke grenade to work with. 50 seconds left on the clock. He's just going to push around that. Eccles out in the open, has no idea. Saw chooses to back off. Doesn't take any damage from Eccles. 40 seconds left on the clock. Eccles has to recover this bomb and get the plant or kill Saw. 2 options available to him. Saw still looking to play aggressive. Still looking to be proactive with that M4. He's trying to push. Saw, why are you doing this on 70 HP? Just fall back. Play the bomb and he'll do just that. The Molotov will come out. The smokes will come out. The utility for Eccles to try and lock Saw out of this. He's taking so much Molotov damage, but he's done it. HAVU will survive the lower bracket. Fierce are out. They will be in ESEA Advanced, but MDL is not going to be for them on this occasion.